Good evening, everyone. Once again, I am Sonika Aaron, Managing Partner from Marching Sheep, and a very warm welcome to all of you to our third episode of 21 Marching. And today we are in conversation with Jigna Chanpura. So before I introduce her to all of you, uh, on December 14th, 2016, the government of India passed the Rights for Persons with Disabilities (RPWD) Act, a law which radically expanded the scope of which people with disabilities are empowered and recognized in the society and given opportunities to achieve their potential. The act is considered a game changer because it provides a framework for defining the rights of 100 million PWDs in India who have historically been discriminated against due to societal, economic, and legislative issues. Before the RPWD Act, India's main legislation covering PWDs was the Persons with Disability Act, which covered only seven disabilities. But now this act covers 21 disabilities ranging from blindness or visual impairment to mental illnesses to neurological disorders to sickle cell to Parkinson's to multiple sclerosis. So today we are going to talk about multiple sclerosis with Jigna Champura. Jigna was having a very easy life, a good job in a prominent bank when she got her first attack of multiple sclerosis. This was in 2004. At that point, it affected her mobility. After taking steroids and more than a month's physiotherapy, her mobility was back. Her next attack affected her eyes. She had blurry vision. Again, she recovered completely. However, it was her third attack which shook her completely. It affected her speech, and that also affected her social life. She went into depression, and in that state, she quit her job. She then connected with the Multiple Sclerosis Society of India, MSSI. The society became her support system. They counseled her and her family, and she was able to come to terms with her condition. She is today here to share her journey and her story with us. Jigna, thank you so much for joining us today. And I remember our first conversation, it was completely inspirational. So
Thank you.
I hope today you will inspire many others.
First of all, a big good evening to everybody. And it's my pleasure that you have invited me here. Even if I'm able to inspire even one person, I will be like very happy. And thank you so much for all your inspiring words.
Not at all, they're all yours. So
Thank
let me
you.
get started. Jigna, uh, whatever said or done, the fact is that there is very little awareness around multiple
Yes.
sclerosis. People might be very well read, very well educated, but the knowledge or the information around multiple sclerosis is very low. So, firstly, for our audience, can you tell them what multiple sclerosis is?
Right. See, basically, multiple sclerosis, also known as MS, is an incurable, disabling disease of the brain, the spinal cord, and also affects our optic nerves. So, in this, what happens that the immune system attacks our covering of the nerves to whichever body part it's connected to. That particular body part has communication problems from the brain to there. For
Okay.
example, if the body part covering, the mobility, if that covering sheet has come out, it will not give proper signals to your hands or to your legs. Basically, there is
Okay.
nothing wrong with them, but it won't give proper signals and we won't be able to walk.
Okay.
Similarly, if it's your eyesight, it could be anything. And
Okay.
no two MS people will have the same symptoms because it depends on which nerve it has attacked and to what degree it has attacked.
Okay. All right. So it's basically immune disorder. Can I say it's an autoimmune disorder?
Yes, it is.
And is there an age where it happens? Is there a, or it can
Yes,
happen?
no, it happens more for young adults, especially for females. So that's the reason why it's like kind of a dream killer because all the youngsters they have these high dreams of achieving
Hmm.
lots of things in life, and it
Hmm.
attacks you at that point of time, and it totally shatters your dreams. Like I got it also at a very young age, so I was in a good post, and my career was totally went for a toss post that.
Right. Okay. And and you say it's not curable.
No, it's not curable as of now, but we can control it with a
Okay.
lot of other remedies that's there available now,
Okay.
like interferons, and there are lots of other treatments available.
Okay. So when you say that your first attack impacted your mobility, so with the help
Right,
of steroids and physiotherapy, you got your mobility back.
right.
So
But
now
that's
you.
not the case. That won't be the case always.
Hmm.
Like when I got my attack for my eyesight, I wasn't sure if I would recover completely because usually there is some residues left. But
Hmm.
by God's grace, I recovered completely. Whereas my
Right.
third attack, which affected my speech, it took about 3 to 4 years for me to get it back to this level. With
Right.
regular therapy, I got it back.
Hmm. That's interesting. And to what extent? So, in your case, even now, so right now, what is your status in terms of,
MS.
yeah.
I am absolutely fine. The only issue that I am facing currently is fatigue, which is the
Huh.
most common symptom for everybody. Like when I
Okay.
was working with the bank, I could work for 8 hours, 12 hours a day non-stop. But now, if you tell me, I can't do that. If you give
Hmm.
me a task, I will do it. But that would be as per my
Hmm.
pace, my flexibility, the way my fatigue levels are for that particular day or for that
Okay.
particular hour.
Hmm. So, how does this impact, let's say, the employability options for people with MS?
It
Because
affects in the sense,
huh,
yeah, tell me.
when you
Go
say
ahead.
that fatigue is a very common, so even if, so for example, your mobility issues resolved, your visual issues resolved, your speech resolved, though took time, but now it is fatigue. So for
Right.
employment opportunities, uh,
Hmm.
what are the options, and for employers also to look at people with MS, because they can have employees who get affected by MS, for them
They can.
to, you know, so for them to, let's say, retain them, to enable them, to empower them, to continue supporting them, how can employers look at this condition?
They can see in the sense, even though people who have MS have certain limitations, for each person it will be different, right? They would
Hmm.
have limitations, no denying that. You just cannot compare them in the same scale as normal people. That is for sure. But at the
Hmm.
same time, each person has their own strengths, their strong qualities.
Mm,
So they basically need to offer them something which is based on their strong points,
mm,
then give them the freedom and flexibility to do that particular job. And trust me, we would give more than our 100% to that job, and we might
mm.
even give you better results than others.
Beautiful. And do you think the current work from home options, the entire world, now when we speak to a lot of companies, most of the companies are saying that even post COVID, we are not going to go back to 100%, work from office. Most of them are toying with
Right.
hybrid working models, or majority of their population working from home, and so on and so forth. Does that, do you think, open a lot of flexibility options for people
It
with
does.
MS to continue to work at their own pace, leveraging their competencies and skills, and continue to, now contribute and live a life of self reliance and dignity?
Exactly, exactly. Now this has opened a lot many doors for us, wherein we would be able to do justice, because we also, apart from fatigue, there would be other issues like bladder and bowel issues. So if we are in the comfort zone of our own house,
Hmm.
where we also have support of our family members to, because with mobility issues, we need support to even move around. There are some
Hmm.
people who would have those issues.
Hmm.
So if they are in the comfort of their house, they can
Hmm.
definitely do a very good job. In fact, there are MS people who are working from home. I have friends who are into graphic designing and stuff like that, and she's doing extremely well. Then there is another person who is a wellness coach who does coaching from his house.
Right.
So you see, they can do. Just
Yeah.
all we need is a chance. Just
Hmm.
one chance, and we could do wonders. We want to be accepted as part of the society.
Right.
That
So,
will help us.
yeah. Jigna, why did you leave your job? I mean, you mentioned that, after your third attack, you left your job. What made you do that?
I mean, at that point of time, when I got my speech attack, I used to talk in very long pauses like, hello, how are you? So that totally took me off. It was like something completely unexpected, and it just shook me, totally shook me. And then on top of that, I had my colleagues imitating me, making fun of me. I went into depression, major depression. But then I don't blame them.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you, were you doing that in front of you, or, I mean, I would find, I mean, making fun of you in front of you, or I'm finding it hard to believe. How long back was this?
This was like 2007, 2008, not recently. Because
But
now people have changed a lot. Their approach has changed a lot. But back then, the thing is, I don't blame them. Even they didn't know what I was going through. Forget them. Even I didn't know what was happening to me. Till then, I didn't know what I had was MS. My family was aware about it. I was not informed. So I didn't know what it was. So, how do I expect them to understand what I was going through?
Jigna, even
So, I was
then,
just in depression.
2007, 2008 is not that long back that people could be that insensitive to make fun of a person uh, who's obviously
Yeah.
having issues. They must have known you when you did not have the condition, and yet your colleagues were making fun of you. And did the organization not support you in that condition?
The thing is, I did not tell them anything about it.
Okay.
because by then my mental condition was totally gone. I didn't know what I was doing, whether I was coming, I was going. I didn't know what was happening with me. So
Hmm.
I did not tell them anything.
Hmm.
Only if I tell them, would they be able to help me out or support me? Because post quitting the job, I took 2 years to recover. And after recovering, my earlier boss was so good that he took me back in the bank with the
Hmm.
same designation.
Hmm.
He has been like my strong
Hmm.
pillar till date.
Hmm. That's brilliant.
I will
So then,
always be indebted to him
hmm.
for completely changing my life at that point of time.
That's really nice. And then, did you continue with the bank then after rejoining?
No, I worked for 2 years, but then I had my condition again started deteriorating, and that traveling was taking its toll on me because it was almost 1.5 hours traveling one way. So
Hmm.
that traveling was taking its toll on me, and I did not find it right to go to work and not be able to do justice to my job and take the salary. That's not me.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to, get paid for something that I've not done.
Hmm.
I want to do full justice to the job given to me.
Hmm.
So that time, in my full senses, I quit the job and I
Second time.
decided to take care of my health completely first.
Wonderful. So, what are you doing now?
Post quitting my job the second time, I started dabbling with making creative gift articles and all. And slowly and steadily, that became my source of income. And now I make wonderful creative gift articles, which I'm hoping companies would give me a chance instead of buying gifts from other people. If they
Mm-hmm.
can give me a chance and buy gifts from me, it would work both the ways for them as well as for me. They would get unique, handcrafted gifts, and I
Right.
would get a chance to be financially independent, take care of all my expenses, including medical expenses, and it would be a great help. I'm not asking for charity. No, that's not what I want. I don't want a fish. I want a
Hmm.
chance to fish myself and eat
Hmm.
it.
Wonderful. So you're looking at a corporate gifting setup where
Yes,
you can connect with corporates for corporate gifts and crafted corporate gifts.
that's right.
That's
That's right.
right. And you are now also a member of MSSI.
Right, I am.
Okay. So can you tell us about that journey, becoming a member and how they have supported you and meeting Milind
Sure, sure.
Soman?
Yes. Ah, after quitting my job the first time, that's when I got to know that what I have is MS. So I started doing my Google search and all, and I came to know about MSSI. I contacted them and they helped me tremendously. They helped me come to terms of my condition. They boosted my confidence so much. They were responsible for getting me out of my depression. And slowly, steadily, I got involved in their activities.
Hmm.
They had various activities, like their medical camps. Then they would have the cycle rally. They would have picnics for our entertainment. There would be Diwali programs. So I started getting involved in all of that, and that really
Hmm.
helped me a lot. And that's when I
Hmm.
came in touch with Mr. Milind Soman, who's also the cause ambassador for MSS. And then I
Brilliant.
happened to speak to him and tell him, that now that I'm out of MS, most of my symptoms, I don't have any symptoms except fatigue. So he told me,
Hmm.
why don't you start exercising? Like, just
Hmm.
do simple exercises and go out for walks. I said, walking,
Hmm.
I can barely walk, not even for 10 minutes. He's like, slowly start and gradually you will be able to get better. I took
Hmm.
his advice and I started walking at home. I
Hmm.
used to walk the paced corridors of my house initially. Started with
Hmm.
barely 10 minutes a day, and
Hmm.
that I don't know when it became almost an hour. Started
Hmm.
from my house corridor to my building and then on the roads. When I
Right.
started walking for almost an hour, I very proudly told Milind, that now I'm able to walk this much. He's like, great, so now you can participate in a marathon. And I'm like,
Yeah.
marathon? No, of course you can. So I said, okay. I thought he was referring to the dream run of 7 kilometers.
Hmm.
And he's like, no, half marathon, 21 kilometers. I am like,
Yeah.
are you crazy? 21 kilometers is no jokes. He's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm very sure you can do it. So when he showed so much confidence in me, I said, okay, I will definitely give it my best shot.
Yeah.
And then I had a staff member who's also now become my 2 a.m. friend of MSSI accompany
Yeah.
me for the marathon. She
Yeah.
did the whole marathon with me. And
Yeah.
right from the starting point, say we just barely finished first 5 kilometers, and I
Yeah.
started having very bad cramps. I
Yeah.
couldn't walk. I didn't run the
Yeah.
marathon, I walked the marathon. But post
Right.
5 kilometers, it was totally down. But still, I said, no, I have told Milind I will do it. I
Yeah.
don't know how. I went on and on and on walking, stopping, like holding my legs and almost in tears. But still, I reached about 18 kilometers, and that's when they were picking up the tired runners. So I had Milind Soman's sister accompanying me from a certain distance before the finish line. So she told me, Jigna, you are extremely tired. I think you should now get into that bus and
Yeah.
stop walking. I said, are you crazy? From 5 to 18, I have dragged myself and got here. Now, for last 3 kilometers, I'm not giving up. If
Yeah.
needed, I will crawl to the finish line, but I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
I don't know how I reached the finish line, and the first person I spoke to was Milind. After speaking to him, I didn't feel tired at all. I don't know where it all vanished. But I know he was super proud of me. And it is actually thanks to him and Geeta, the staff member of MSSI, because of whom I could finish that marathon. No
Hmm.
other ways that I could have done it.
But that is
That's
so
been the biggest
awesome.
milestone of my life.
And that is so awesome, Jigna. I mean, I can't imagine doing a half marathon. Honestly, I don't have the guts to do it. Uh, my friends keep telling me, "Ki Sonika, chal," and I don't have the guts to it. So hats off to you. And
Thank you. And once I did it, I'm like, I don't want others to think that I did it by fluke. I did it
yeah,
again. I did it second time. First time it took me 7 hours to finish. Second
yeah,
time I did it in 6.5 hours. I walked for 6.5 hours and I finished, I crossed the finish line.
yeah.
That's sense of achievement when you cross the finish line, nothing compares it.
I'm sure nothing. And I'm so amazed at your grit and your commitment when you say that, I did not want people to think it was a fluke. So I did it for the second time. And amazing, amazing, Jigna. And what are the other, when you interact with other members in your MSSI fraternity, what are the other challenges? You said that we just want to be accepted or included in the society. So, what are the challenges that you feel are there for people with MS?
People with MSC, there are lots of invisible symptoms, which is fatigue. Stress is the major trigger for an attack.
Okay.
Okay. Plus the and the bowel problems. People looking at us, people, if you look at me, they will not know that, I have a major fatigue issue.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm looking absolutely fit and fine and think I can go and do anything. But no, I know what I am
Mhm.
going through right now.
Right.
right? So there is fatigue, there is stress, there is bladder bowel issues. These are the invisible symptoms. Invisible symptoms, mobility is one of the major issues. Because if
When
you
you
have a mobility issue,
so bladder bowel system issues, you mean there is incontinence, there is control
yes,
issue? Okay.
yes.
Okay. And that
Plus
is because
mobility,
that part of the nervous system is impacted.
exactly, exactly.
All right. Hmm.
Plus mobility issues, if they don't have members at home, you
Hmm.
know, they cannot
Hmm.
do their regular exercises without the support of anybody. They cannot
Hmm.
move out without the support of anybody.
Hmm.
There are so many MSPs who haven't gone out at all for years because they cannot go out. If they are staying on higher floors where there's no lift, you can't
Hmm.
expect, their family members also to carry them down so often and get them up, and that's a major
Hmm.
issue. Then they
Hmm.
have eyesight issues, optic nerve if it's affected. Again, they don't have 100% vision. They would have blurry vision.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there
Hmm.
are these issues.
Hmm. So, if I look at it, so one is the issues that people with MS deal with, and because the symptoms vary, then these need to be dealt with symptomatically as per what the symptom is. That's number one.
Exactly. Right.
Second is infrastructurally, because these symptoms vary, each one of them, if we are looking at, let's say, at a societal level or an organizational level, we will need to cater to that. Infrastructurally, we need to provide for support for those problems. So if
But
if
those are not something. Sorry for interrupting you, Sonika. But those are not the problems which, like, see, for example, if a person has a mobility issue, he or she will be on a wheelchair. So
yeah,
all they need to do is, which is just a disability friendly platform to get
yeah,
in and get out, right?
yeah,
And if a person has a bladder or a bowel issue, they could ensure that the person is seated to a place, his desk is closer to the washroom.
yeah.
So it's no major changes that needs to be done. There is
Hmm.
just a bit of sensitivity to understand their symptoms and just work the way around it.
I was about to come to that maybe the sensitivity, the curiosity to say that we encourage you to come and tell us what you need, and we are there to support you and enable you so that you are able to do your job.
Exactly, exactly.
That
And
is what
once
is
we get
required.
that, yeah, and once we get that, trust me, we would give it all.
Hmm.
We would give our all.
Right. I hear you. I hear you. Because I can see that in the positivity in your own grit when you say that uh, you did not want to continue in your job and you left your job for the second time, completely, an informed choice. And now you are saying that I want to set up a corporate gifting, uh, company because I can do it, number one. And second,
Yes.
because I want to be
I love doing
independent.
it.
And you
I want
love
to be
doing it.
independent. I love doing it. It's a stress buster for me. I'll be like very selfish here and say it's a self buster for me.
Brilliant.
It is.
Right. So, if my last question to you would be that, so of course, I can see from the messages that all your friends are here, but to
Okay.
all the other, I don't know if you can see them. There is
I
Sunita
can't
Chauhan.
see. I can't see.
Okay, so there's Sunita, there is Rupa, there is Hanumant
Oh,
Rao, there is Jane, there is, okay, let me scroll up. There is
hi
Anand,
everybody.
there is Rutuja, there is Kamna,
Oh,
um,
oh
there is
God.
Geeta, there is Geeta Mirchandani.
She's the
So
MSSI person I was.
Oh, and there is Suresh Dongre. So lots
Oh,
of love and messages for you.
thank you
Lots
so
of
much.
apps.
They are all my HDFC friends. I'm still
Yes.
in touch with them and they are like gems. They are gems. They are my strong support pillars. Even today, they're just a phone call away from me. I'm
Mm.
blessed to have such good friends and family. Seriously blessed.
So, but
Thank
apart
you so
from
much, everybody, for your.
all of them, there must be so many other MS patients. What would be your message? One, parting message before we wrap up for today.
Well, my message to them is like the first and the most important thing, accept your limitations. You need to come to terms to that. Once you accept them, just see that within those limitations, what are your skills? Then you need to just polish those skills a bit. Speak to people. There are very good people around. They would definitely help you out. But you need to polish those skills a bit, approach them, speak up, tell people, don't keep your issues hidden under the carpet. You need to come out and speak about it. Only then people would be aware, right? Without that, they cannot come forward and help us.
Yeah.
So we need to do that, and I'm sure life will be a lot better. Though I know that the efforts that we need to put in for doing a certain job is lot more than what others would have put in. But don't ever give up. It's like the famous lines of a song, which goes like, "Hum honge kamyab, hum honge kamyab, ek din." That's how it should be. That should be your mantra. Don't ever give up.
Very nice.
That's it. That's the message.
Thank you. And one last thing, just like you found MSSI here, MSSI would have chapters across the
Yes,
country, right?
yes. It has chapters across the country, and we are also affiliated with the International MS Federation.
Okay. So anybody can get connected, can become a member
Yes,
of MSSI
yes,
and get that
yes,
support that you got. Uh,
yes.
and they also help, does MSSI also help with employment?
With employment, they are definitely trying to speak to corporates, and whenever
Okay.
opportunities come, they do tell them. But it's little slow currently because even it's only now that with MS being included in the Disability Act that there
Hmm.
has been doors being opening.
Right.
But we need all the help and support
I get that. I get that.
and a bit of sensitivity from the society towards us. That's all.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jigna. I think uh, this was this was beautiful. Thank you for sharing your journey, your story, and the positivity coming from you is absolutely infectious. I hope a lot of people watch this interview and it touches a lot of people. It reaches a lot of employers. They realize the power, and they realize that people with MS can be employed, their skills and competencies can be unleashed, and there is opportunity here. And I hope we can make a difference to someone's life. Yeah.
We will definitely make a difference in people's life, and I'm sure that companies would hear us, and better days are there ahead for us. Definitely.
Thank you so much. And with
Thank
that,
you so much.
yes.
Thank you so much, and a big love to all of them out there too.
Yes, and we have Kush
all the
also,
love that they need.
yes. You're breaking up in between, Jigna. What did you say in the end?
I said a big shout out to everybody out there listening to me. Just hang in there. You will get through this, and a lot of love from me to everybody.
Yes, thank you so much. And with that, we will wrap up today's wonderful conversation.
Yeah,
And we will be back once again next week.
thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and for the wonderful messages for Jigna, everyone. I've taken a screenshot. I will share with her your messages. And thanks a ton once again. Goodbye. Bye, Jigna. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.